So tonight, since we don't have too much time, I think that I'll just share a little bit about, the vision behind Rippln, kind of what we're all doing here, and what the big picture is, and where we're going over the next 35 to 45 days, and then where are we going after that. And I'm still seeing the green pop up on your thing, Casey. I don't know if you're muted or not right now, but your thing keeps, it says you muted, so I'm not sure if that'll do it, but now it's gone. Okay, wonderful. So basically, to make a long story short, I think Rippln is really poised, it is poised to be a new distribution model for this generation that we're living in. And what I mean by that is that, if you look at the past 50, 60 years, for example, and I'll just, talk about, business in general, right? And you have a company like Amway, which is an $11 billion a year company, right? Pretty much the first networking company to ever launch, $11 billion a year company. Still to this day, untold amounts of wealth flow through that company. The people who are involved at the beginning of Amway, honestly, are some of the wealthiest people existing on the planet. I mean, I personally know several people who have made, 30, 40, $50 million a year every year for like the last 40 years. I mean, it's pretty insane to even fathom that. Yet, Amway is probably one of the most uncool examples of a company today. There's almost like you hear Amway and you hear that stigma. Yet what they did so well was they created a community-based, event-driven distribution model, because people would come together in communities and you would talk with your friends and you build a business, and it's a way to distribute really cool products and services that we all need and we all use all the time. And lo and behold, that little simple concept turned out to be one of the biggest companies on the planet. An $11 billion a year giant. They make Facebook look small in comparison in terms of the revenue that they're doing. Yet obviously, things continue to evolve on. And what I think Rippln is really merging is the event-driven sort of community model, the mobile model, and the internet all into one platform, all into one new social business. It's kind of a type of social business for everyone who really wants to be able to take more financial control of their life and put themselves at the start of a trend, at the start of something really magnificent, with a group of talented, heart-centered, amazing individuals, which is half the fun, anyway. I think that's what Rippln's all about, and Rippln is really about creating sort of, brand new paradigms in the marketplace, and giving people an opportunity that nobody's ever really had before, because this is the first time a platform like this has existed. And so, essentially what we are is really the first incentivized sharing platform. And what that means is, we have the ability to track anytime you share an app, a product, a website, a service. You can share anything, even social commerce, as we'll discuss in a bit. Anytime you're sharing any of that stuff, we can track your ripple effect on the world. Meaning, if Casey shared with Lori, and Lori shared with Cynthia, and Cynthia shared with John, and John shares, and on and on and on and on, what is the true effect? What is the true impact that we have in the marketplace anytime we share hot new apps, products, services, websites? And that's information, that's data that nobody's ever had before, right? Like, we don't know. Right now, we have no idea what our ripple effect is if I tell somebody to go buy a Mophie case, right? Like, somebody told me to go buy this Mophie case, and so I went and bought it, and I've probably told 10 people since then to go buy a Mophie case because they're really cool. Somebody's probably going to go buy a Mophie case right now because I just talked about that. What's our actual ripple effect on the world, and how do we see that, and how do we get transparency into the value that we're creating in the marketplace? How many of these Mophie cases have I been partly responsible for selling since I started talking about them? That's what Rippln provides. it literally gives somebody complete transparency into how their social graph spreads in the world. And better than that, since we're tracking all the transactions and all the commerce and all the value that takes place within that Ripple, we reward you for the value that you actually create in the marketplace. And so there's a variety of ways in which we do that. Right now, Rippln is in really its buzz building phase. So you are definitely hearing about this at the absolute beginning of what this platform will grow to be. But in the last, I think, 20 days, it's been 21 days, literally 3 weeks since we actually released Rippln to the public for the first time and allowed people to just start creating an account and sharing with their friends. And in the last 21 days, I think 420,000 people have signed up, which, just to give you a comparison, is growth that's 15 times faster than Facebook. So we literally came out of the gate growing 15 times faster than Facebook did, about 20 to 30 times faster than Twitter and most of the other major internet sites in the world. And I think what that's a testament to is how much people believe in the concept that we're sharing tonight. I think it's a testament to how much people, number one, really want to be a part of a cool community that has their values and expresses their values and gives them a chance to earn money in a way that matches their values that they have in the world. And B, number two, something that is completely innovative and unique. And C, number three, the actual concept of, we deserve to have our ripple effect tracked in the world when we share cool new apps, products, services, and websites, and we deserve to have to be rewarded for the value that we're creating in the marketplace. And that's really all that we've put out to the world, right? That's it. All we're doing is literally sharing the concept with people right now, and we're growing 15 to 20 times faster than the largest websites in the world ever have. And so I think that's a really good sign. And why I'm so excited is because that's nothing yet. And it's interesting because, we've talked, our mastermind group here has talked a little bit about, some of the behind the scenes stuff that's coming. And, we haven't even introduced the first app yet. We haven't introduced the business model. We haven't introduced all the gamification, because I believe that when we introduce the gamification alone, it's going to totally change people's experience, even with Rippln, and it'll be so much fun. It's not even funny. And if all of a sudden, you're pretty much completing these epic quests and challenges and earning points all to build your Ripple around the world and get paid on the value that takes place within it, I truly see this as a viral conversation that is meant to reach, all the generations that currently exist. I believe that this conversation, will reach the Gen Y that is coming up, as well as, the generations that are, way older. And it's a conversation that really unites everybody in its simplicity and in its meaning. Because there's really none of us who don't want to get rewarded for the value that we create in the marketplace. And I don't think there's anybody who also doesn't, love to be a part of a community. And I think that's the opportunity that a social business provides. And so, over the next 35 to 45 days, we're going to be discussing a lot more of the actual details of, if you want to take this on as a social business and really lock arms and run with us. I absolutely know for a fact that when we execute on this, there will be people earning 6-figure and 7-figure incomes annually. There's no doubt that is the type of structure that Rippln provides. And just a little bit about my background. I come from the networking industry. I've had the privilege of directly experiencing the power of this industry and what happens when you really are part of the right team and you've got the right mentors and are part of the right opportunity, the right conversation. Amazing things can happen. And my life is definitely a testament to that, having made my first $1 million by the age 24, and it really just went off from there. I know what's about to happen with Rippln. Like I've seen it happen before. I see what's happening with all the people signing up. We're watching the data, we're watching the trends and everything going on, and I see what is about to happen, and there is definitely about to be an untold amount of people who completely change their lives through participating in this platform and participating in this conversation and really taking it seriously as well. You know, there's a lot of ways to play. You know, obviously, the platform itself is so simple and fun. I mean, if somebody just wants to earn enough money every month to go to the movies or pay for a phone bill or, you know, maybe pay your car bill or your rent even, you know, it's so easy just to pull out your phone or hop onto a website and share a website or share an app or just share stuff with your friends, right? And who knows, that could go completely viral, and all those transactions are tracked back to you, and I believe that people will have incomes that come out of that really blow them away and really take care of, you know, basic needs and necessities and fun things in our life, and I see that happening. And then I also think there will be people who really recognize the business aspect of Rippln and what we're doing right now, and they want to you know, aggressively grow a large Ripple. And I think that all of us on the line, you know, we definitely see that vision for the future and for ourselves, and so there's a lot of stuff that we can do to really actually have fun building a team and growing the Ripple significantly large. And then all the value that's taking place inside your Ripple, you know, you have the chance to get rewarded for, you have the chance to get paid for. And so there's a lot of different exciting ways to play. But right now, you know, we're pretty much in a buzz building phase. So what I would recommend for anybody to do who's listening to this right now is just have fun with it, right? Just test the concept, and you know, if you like the concept and it makes sense to you, you know, what I would do is just I would constantly make sure that I've got my 5 invites sent out, right? Because once you send your 5 invites, and I assume most people have probably logged into the Rippln platform and seen the back office, and once you send your 5 invites, as soon as you complete 5 invites and 5 people sign up, then it will unlock 5 more. And you know, I'll share a little update, but pretty soon, in fact, I believe tomorrow, we're turning on some new game mechanics to where it's going to unlock 5 more, and then 10 more, and then 25 more, and we're going to sort of gamify the process for how to grow the Ripple even faster. But I would recommend, you know, if because we're in buzz building phase right now, just have fun like that. Just literally have fun sharing the concept with your friends and seeing how far your Ripple grows. And it's so cool when all of a sudden, like, you're checking your phone and you see that you just got into another country and you don't know anybody in Mauritius, right? Or you don't know anybody in, like, South Africa or wherever the heck it is, but all of a sudden, you know, your Ripple's in South Africa, and then from there it's in, you know, Asia, and you're just like watching it go, and it's so fun, and people are really just having an amazing time with it, just seeing the impact, seeing that the influence that they have on the world. And so I would, you know, strongly recommend and encourage you right now, since everything is completely free, you really have nothing to lose whatsoever, to really just engage and see if you can get your Ripple going viral. And I know that everyone who's listening to this has an unbelievable amount of support and leadership from all the individuals who are on the line today. I mean, I just can't tell you enough how much I respect each and every person who's on the line, because I know their hearts, I know how they think, and I know what they're willing to do, and how committed they are in so many senses to really helping people and making things happen in the world, and just, you know, all around creating a better quality of life for themselves and everyone. And so there's an amazing support network here, and if you're inviting people and having fun, you know, reach out to Casey or Cynthia or Lori or Paige or John or Amy or Tom, and most definitely, you know, just totally rock it with them. And so I don't know if there's any specific questions that you also want. Oh, one more thing I'll just speak about before I stop. You know, about 35 to 45 days from now, you know, we're getting ready to move out of the beta phase that we're in now, because right now all we're in is buzz. We're in a buzz building phase that is purely beta. And so literally the only thing we ever intended to do, it's almost like, you know, how Iron Man 3, they had the movie trailers playing for the last, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then the movie premieres and everybody goes and sees the movie. You know, all we're doing is sort of building buzz and sort of premiering the movie trailer right now, and people have the opportunity in this stage that we're in to just share that and watch their Ripple grow around the world, and if they want, you know, really start to build a team. And then in about 45 to 60 days from now, we'll move out of this phase and we're actually going to turn on commerce. And so once we turn on commerce, that's when we're actually going to be introducing the products into Rippln. We'll be introducing our very first communication app, which is just going to be an amazing application it's pretty much right now, I'll tell you, it's the #1 app that I use for almost everything. And I believe that all of the ripples we're building now have the potential to literally 3, 4, 5 times increase themselves over a 30-day period once we introduce the communication app, because it is so viral. We've also got some really exciting conversations on the line that we're going to be updating the marketplace pretty soon about the introduction of some physical hard good commerce to actually flow through the Ripple as well, because we really see that not only do we have the ability to sort of revolutionize how apps are distributed and how websites and technologies are distributed, because we're building this first ever incentivized sharing platform, which we're literally going to be able to get distribution, I believe, to the tunes of millions and millions and millions of people our very first month for just, our first app. So not only are we sort of revolutionizing how apps can be distributed with this incentivized sharing model, but also physical products as well, just like this Mophie case. Because why should I not be getting, rewarded for the value that I'm creating in my Ripple already, except for the fact that those people aren't tracked to me. Nobody's ever done this before. So when I told my buddy, hey, go buy that Mophie case, imagine if he was in my Ripple, and imagine if we had an offer where we had 10,000 Mophie cases, at a discount price to move through the Ripple right now, and now all the people who you told about it, who are in your Ripple, etc., they can buy that Mophie case, and you actually get a piece of that transaction. That's actually you making money on that. That's where this is going, and it's truly unbelievable when you see the scope of it, because it's almost like Amazon meets Facebook, meets the most powerful sort of offline distribution models that have existed in the last 50, 60 years as well. And so I'm just incredibly excited to be here with everybody, and now I will shut up and stop rambling. And if there's any questions anybody has or anything you guys want to chat about, then I'm totally here.
Jonathan, I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, Casey.
Can you talk about the 24-hour Rippln challenge that's starting tomorrow?
Absolutely. Great. Thank you for that. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. and I think, Casey,
I'll put the link in the chat box.
Yeah, put the link. Also, yeah, and also put the link for the All Ripple update list if you're in the Ripple. Everybody here, is everybody here in the Ripple already right now, Casey, or is it kind of open? Because, okay, cool. We'll be updating everybody through the list that we've set up that's just for our team and just for people who are already in the Ripple. But tomorrow, we're doing a 24-hour challenge that's going to be led by Jim Bunch, who's another one of our teammates here, an incredible man who's spent the last few decades in the technology and transformation space. And we're going to be taking people through just a fun experience to have a blast and create some velocity and some momentum in your Ripple over the next 24 hours. So it'll start tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, I believe 7 p.m. Eastern. That's correct, right, Casey? So 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you can see that link, and I'm sure we'll send it out to you, all you have to do is be on that page at that time and refresh it, and the hangout's going to start, and we'll take people through a sort of 45-minute pre-game that will lay the foundation for what the 24-hour challenge is, and share more of the vision, the mission, and sort of the specific action steps and business model that's coming, and then the action steps for you to actually take and what to do to participate full out. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Thank you for that, Casey.
Awesome, thank you. I'm really excited about it. I put it in the chat box, so it's ripplevelocity.com, 24-hour Ripple Up, and then also the list that Jonathan mentioned is in the chat box there too. So, and do you have a little bit more time, Jonathan? Or do you have to go if people have questions?
I've got about 3 minutes.
Okay. Does anybody have a specific question for Jonathan?
Well, I was thinking about
John, I see John's talking, but we can't hear you. Let me go over to where I muted everybody.
I can hear him.
Let's see, it's
Can you hear
asking
me?
I
me
heard
to
him.
get permission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Maybe it's
I
just
can hear
Great.
you.
So yeah, well, one thing I thought about is the generation aspect of this Ripple. Jonathan, I want you to talk a little bit about this. I know there is a guy that's 20 years old is in our team. His name is Brett. He has like 14,000 people or something in his Ripple, and I mean, and also this attracts people in every generation. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I personally think that what we're up to here is really creating a conversation that goes mainstream, and you know, the exact same way that you know there's 8 million people or 9 million people that play World of Warcraft every single month. You know, 9 million people spend $15 a month to play that game, right? You know, that's a lot of people. And I think within 36 months, we will have 10 million people, you know, spending 15 bucks a month or 20 bucks a month or whatever it is, you know, to play a game to actually track their social influence all over the world, you know, watch their social impact go viral, and have the chance to get rewarded for all the value that's taking place inside their network. Anytime somebody purchases, you know, something from within an app or a website or a product or service, and I see it. You know, I completely see the mainstream potential of this, and I think that all those people are going to end up in someone's Ripple, right? They're going to be in. If you think about the first 1,000 students at Harvard, we're all in their Ripple. You know what I mean? Like those first 1,000 people that signed up for Facebook, the entire world, 1 billion people, is in their Ripple. I mean, it's insane, but like that's where it started, and it spread from there. And there's 1 billion people on Facebook today. Like, imagine if those kids at Harvard, you know, ever could have conceived that their effect on the world would be 1 billion people just a decade later. And imagine if they actually tracked and got to see their Ripple and then got paid a piece of the value that Facebook was worth. Every one of those kids would be retired. You know what I mean? But whatever it was. So I think that's what we're up to, creating something along those lines, you know, right now, right here, and we're all a part of it.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. I totally believe and I totally see the vision too that you're seeing. So.
Well, I appreciate you, my friend. So I've got to hop off, guys and gals, but it was amazing getting to spend some time with you. I'd love to do this again. Anytime anybody wants to hang out or chat, you know, I'm totally open to it, and I hope I get to meet everybody who's listening now at one of our next events, or at some function of some kind that we're doing. I'd love to meet you all. I'd love to get to know you more, and I'm just excited to be here with everybody. So.
Thank you, Jonathan. The next event's in Dallas, right? What's the dates?
I'm not sure. I think right now we have one planned August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. For
that's
Vegas?
right.
That might be the Vegas event, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Okay.
So
We'll keep everybody updated. We'll find out.
appreciate you, my friends. Talk to you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Jonathan.
You.